lights are off, so is your voice. Immediately. Immediately. And you're looking at the adult.
I'm pretty sure we had the same rule last year.
I'm definitely sure. So we'll fix that piece right now, right from day one. Okay? Otherwise, it's going to be a really long year, because that's something that we're not going to concede on. Okay? When the lights are out, your voices are off.
And let me tell you, we had kindergartners here today who, this is their first day in this building. They picked it up, and they have never seen it before or heard about it. They didn't know anything about the rules, and they were able to do it. So I really think if 5-year-olds can do it, that you should be able to.
Okay, so rule number, besides that rule, you're in here to have lunch, to eat. It's not playtime, you're going to have recess later on. You guys have a little bit of a different schedule than everybody else this year. You're going to come to lunch and go back to class and then go out to recess later on. Okay, so you'll get your playtime. But when you're in here, we expect you to have manners, to be ladies and gentlemen. Okay, which means you sit down and you eat your food appropriately. Okay? What happens if you have a spill? What do you think you're going to do? I love how he said that. If it's I said, what if you have a spill? He said, if it's something you can clean up yourself, you're going to clean up. If you spill your milk and it's all over the table, is that something you can clean up yourself? No. No. So what are we going to do? Raise your hand, and one of the adults, either one of the paraeducators or Mr. Tony, one of the building service people, will help you clean it up. What if you need to go to the bathroom? You just going to get up and leave? No. What are you going to do, Lonnie? Exactly. What if you need something from the lunch line? You just going to get up and go on out there? What are you going to do? You're just going to get up and walk out?
You're going to raise your hand and ask.
Excellent. So then what you guys are telling me is anything that you need, you're not going to get up and you're not going to leave the cafeteria unless you raise your hand. Why do you think that that's important, Rule? Why do you think that's important, Rule? Right, or if there is an emergency, you guys have seen, what do we do if we go out for a fire drill? We take attendance, don't we? And if we're missing somebody, what am I doing? I'm freaking out. And we can't have any of that, Gracie.
And also, if you don't know where you are, they might go to the classrooms and then you come back and they're like, where's everyone else?
Exactly, exactly. Something else?
Yeah.
What?
If it's an emergency or if they got on, if they didn't ask to go to that place and there's an emergency, like there's someone, they might be
Correct, correct. So it's all about keeping you safe. I want to be able at the end of the day to give you back to your parents or whoever the same way they brought you to me, all in one piece, okay? So anything that we need, we're going to put our hand up. We're not up out of our seats. And then when the lights are out, our voices are off. One more thing before we get up out of here. What do we have to do? Now we're done eating. What's next? What are we going to do next? Clean up. How do we clean up around here, Oliver? We just throw it in the trash?
No, so we call classes by
Uh-huh.
one, because if they're all the classes, all the classes will be 2,000.
Okay. And so is there a particular thing that we do with our trash?
We put it down to the trash and use the different that we put it in the trash. That's not trash. We put it in.
What's that called when we put this in a special bin? It starts with an R. Recycle. Recycle. So we got a bin for the black trays. We got a bin for the cardboard tray.
And what goes in here?
After you dump it out, right?
And the bottles go in here.
Okay? And then the last thing that we're going to do is everybody is going to be responsible. Check on your table, under your table, and next to your table. I've seen kids get up and they'll throw it and, oh, it almost got to the trash can. Are we going to leave it on the floor? No. 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 Okay? And then we will line you up and you will go back to class, you'll do some instruction, and then you'll get to go out to recess. So you guys get lots of breaks during your day, that's kind of cool. But I don't know if the teachers like it, but I think it's a great schedule. Okay, so how about you guys? Do you have any questions, anything you're not sure about? Yes, sir, Kevin? Huh? Never mind. I got a hand up here. Yes, sir. If you're in Miss B's class, is that what you're asking me? You can sit at either one of these tables.
No, she's asking about joining us, Jack.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
mean, if it's really crowded here, you could go there.
Yeah.
That's kind of why we call you by table, so it doesn't get really crowded. You can go to either one, but the main thing is just to do it quickly and then to sit down. Okay? So I'm going to give you guys another chance.
Did you have a question, Mrs. Sage?
Oh, Mrs. Sage had a question.
Are the third graders allowed to go to the bathroom and get drinks during?
Yes.
Yes.
So, what is the procedure and how should they go to the bathroom and get drinks? How should you go? You need to go to the bathroom and get drinks. What is the safest way to go about that?
Do things they know.
Well, first, what are you going to do?
Raise your hand and ask. What bathroom and water fountain are you going to use? Sasha?
The one that is
Right outside by your, so no wandering around by the gym or anything like that. And I know it's a big temptation because the classrooms are right there. Are you guys allowed back in those classrooms?
No.
You're not allowed in any room in this building with no adult.
But what if you forget your lunch?
What if you, I guess they don't eat, Mrs. Stamp.
Oh, that's too bad.
What happens if you forget your lunch in the classroom? That's likely not to happen, but what if you did? What are you gonna do? Right, and then we'll help you to get it. Say it again. Isn't that great? Now you're right around the bend. Does that,
Yeah, I was just concerned about safety. I would walk to the bathroom or to get a drink of water and do that quickly.
and are we loud and playing around in the bathroom? We're in there to take care of business, wash our hands, and get right back. Because if it becomes an issue, then you won't be allowed to leave the cafeteria. So there you go. Ms. Butler, did you have a question?
So let's say my friend Mrs. Sage and I are sitting next to one another and Miss Sage has a cookie. Can she give me one of her cookies?
No sharing. Absolutely. Mrs. Moore is really big on that this year. No sharing at all. Not a piece of candy, not a gummy, not an M&M, not a piece of a cookie, nothing. Okay? And you have to eat what your family wants you to eat and that they know you're eating. I know today that you're buying school pizza, let's say. I know today I put tuna fish in your lunch. I don't want you eating his pizza because I think it's junk or whatever. That's your family's decision. So absolutely no sharing. Okay, question?
Thank you.
You're exactly correct. And that's a bit, and even though usually what we get from that argument, well, they know if they're allergic. Doesn't make any difference. We just have that rule right off the bat, and then nobody gets sick, nobody gets in trouble, nobody gets hurt. Okay? Question? Now that's something different. If you bring in like a class set of cookies or cupcakes or something like that, that's okay to share at lunch, okay? And the teachers will know if there's any students in the class that aren't allowed to have those kinds of things.
And that's only for your class.
Right.
So even if your best friend is in a different class, you can't give your best friend a
Only
cookie.
for your
Only for your
class.
class.
Okay? And most kids, but by the time you're your age, you know if you have it, I'm not allowed to eat this or I'm not allowed to eat that. But the teachers will also know that too. Okay?
Did you have a question?
Another question?
Yeah.
No, you sit with your class. So This is always gonna be Mrs. Sage's table, but tomorrow you might sit over there, and then the next day you might sit over here, but you're always gonna be at these two tables. Unless it's a special occasion, and then we do open seating. If we do open seating all the time, then it's nothing special. You know, if we do it a couple times a year on a half a day, you know, when the schedule's all crazy and everything.
Third grade.
Makes it
Okay,
all
lights are
hard
still
to
out.
feel or anything.
I've left them off, so you will know to be quiet. And an adult is speaking.
Okay.
So that's
Anything
two
else? Are we
things.
good?
Yeah.
Okay. Get ready for your first third grade lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Come here, flunk out.